your goals into actionable plans you can actually execute. My goal today is for you to leave feeling not just inspired, but equipped with practical tools and strategies to take your business to the next level. So let's dive in. To kick things off, let's talk about why long-term planning is such a game changer for small businesses and why it's often overlooked. Let's start with the big question. How many of you feel like you're constantly juggling short-term fires and long-term dreams? It's the classic small business dilemma, balancing the urgent with the important. For many small business owners, this can feel like a tug of war. You're focused on keeping the day-to-day running smoothly, payroll, operations, marketing, but the bigger vision often gets pushed to the back burner. The challenge is, without a long-term plan, your business is more reactive than proactive, and that's a risky way to grow. And here's a stat that might surprise you. So according to the SBA, the Small Business Administration, only about 50% of businesses make it past their 5th year. And while there are many factors at play, one consistent theme is this: businesses that succeed are the ones that prioritize strategic planning. Why? Because strategic planning provides clarity. It helps you focus your resources on what truly matters. It creates a roadmap that your team can rally around. And most importantly, it keeps you from falling into the trap of working in your business instead of working on your business, which I know is a buzz term you've definitely heard before. And here's another sobering statistic. Up to 96% of small businesses either stagnate or fail, often because they don't have a clear long-term plan. Let that sink in. 96%. Without a clear strategy, it's nearly impossible to navigate the inevitable challenges and market shifts every business faces. But here's the good news. Businesses that invest in strategic planning see transformative results. For example, strategy leaders' clients report an average of 27% revenue growth within 3 years, quadrupled cash reserves, and much greater stability. These aren't flukes. They're the direct result of having clear, actionable plan in place and a little bit of accountability. This strategic planning isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for stability, predictability, and profitability. So let me tell you about one of our clients, a family-owned retail business. When they came to us, they were feeling stuck. Sales had plateaued. They were spinning their wheels, trying to solve short-term problems without addressing the bigger issue. Through strategic planning, we helped them clarify their long-term goals and create a system to support them. And within 2 years, they not only increased profitability by 30%, but they also expanded to 2 new locations. It wasn't magic. It was the power of clear, actionable planning. The bottom line, long-term planning isn't just a nice to have for small businesses. It's the foundation for stability, growth, and profitability. And while it can feel daunting to carve out time for planning, it's one of the most impactful investments that you can make in your business. With that in mind, let's take a look back at 2024 and reflect on what worked, what didn't, and how we can use those lessons to build a stronger 2025. So before we dive into planning for 2025, let's take a step back and reflect on 2024. This is a step that so many businesses skip. They're eager to charge ahead without pausing to assess what worked, what didn't, and why. But reflection is critical because it allows you to build your successes and learn from your challenges. Think of it this way. If you don't know where you've been, how can you confidently decide where you're going? So I will say that business owners, entrepreneurs, I own businesses too, we really love to just, I'm in it, I'm on it, I got it done, I'm gonna just charge forward and solve the problem. But ultimately, we end up being very reactive instead of proactively thinking through what could I do better, right? So that's why we're here. A year-end review is like a health checkup for your business. It's your chance to celebrate your wins and figure out how you replicate them, identify what didn't work and pinpoint why it fell short, and spot patterns and trends in your operations, finances, and team performance. And by doing this, you're not just reviewing numbers, you're gathering insights that will inform smarter decisions in the year ahead. So what I like to do for my business businesses in terms of reflecting is to sit down with my business partners, with my team, and ask them, what do you think went? What were our biggest wins this year? What did we do? What strategies or actions led to those wins? And how can we scale or repeat those wins in 2025? And on the flip side, we also review our challenges. What didn't go as planned? Were there gaps in resources, systems, or leadership? Sometimes, a lot of times it's leadership. It comes down to us as business owners, as business leaders. And how can we pivot or address those gaps moving forward? Remember, it's really important to remember that challenges, they aren't failures. They're opportunities to refine and grow. So instead of getting stuck on, I failed, we need to move to, what did I learn from this? And how do I grow from, from this? So to make this process more structured, I recommend using a few tools. So you've probably heard this before. Any, business school person will tell you a SWOT analysis. So identify your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's a great way to really get a clear snapshot of your business's current position. KPI assessments. Look at your key performance indicators, things like revenue, profitability, customer retention, employee satisfaction. Did you hit your targets? Why or why not? These frameworks give you a concrete way to organize your thoughts and turn observations into action steps. That's really critical. Taking the time to reflect on the past year is about more than just looking back. It's about identifying the patterns and the insights that will help you move forward with intention and confidence in 2025. With those lessons in mind, let's talk about building a strong foundation for sustainable growth in 2025. Now that we've reflected on 2024, it's time to focus on the building blocks for long-term success. Growth isn't just about doing more. It's about creating a foundation that can support that growth sustainably without burning out your team and you and your family and whoever else is involved, because we all know that in small business, everyone is involved in everything. Think of your business as a house. You wouldn't just start decorating, right, without a foundation in place. The same principle applies here. Let's talk about the 3 key areas to focus on: scalability, resilience, and proactive leadership. Scalability is about ensuring your business can grow without breaking under pressure. So it's time to ask yourself, do I have the right systems in place to handle increased demand? Are there repetitive tasks that could be automated? Is my team equipped and empowered to take on more responsibility? Simple steps like implementing a customer relationship management system, a CRM, or standardizing your onboarding process can free up your time and ensure consistency as you scale. Scalability isn't just about adding resources, it's about optimizing what you already have. Financial resilience here means having the stability to weather unexpected challenges. If COVID taught us anything, it's that financial stability is king. Cash is king, right? We always have these unexpected challenges, black swans, market dives, longshoremen, protests, whatever it might be, right? So we could also look at this is building cash reserves. So pre-COVID, I probably would have told you 1 to 3 months in cash reserves would keep you safe enough. Now what we're really looking at is 3 to 6 to 9 months of operating expenses in savings, just in case. Reviewing and refining your budget to eliminate waste and invest in high impact areas. And then operational resilience is about flexibility and preparation. Consider conducting risk assessments to identify weak points in your supply chain, technology, or your workforce. When you're prepared, you can respond to challenges rather than react in panic. So as business owners, it's really easy for us to get caught up in putting out fires. But long-term success requires a shift from reactive to proactive leadership. And that means setting clear goals, setting clear priorities, and communicating them effectively with your team. Regularly reviewing your goals and progress. Don't wait until the end of the year to course correct. You're out of time at that point. And being intentional about how you spend your time, focusing on activities that drive the most value for your business. Proactive leadership isn't just about strategy, it's about creating a culture of forward thinking and problem solving within your organization. Let's take a moment. I want you to think about your own business. What's your biggest bottleneck right now? Is it lack of systems, cash flow challenges, or too much time spent putting out fires? I'm running a quick poll to see what resonates most with you, and then we'll discuss practical tips for tackling these challenges. Dolly, just let me know when we can move on.
I think we're good. I'm gonna end it right now.
Okay.
And these are.
Yep. No, go ahead. Thank you. Great. By focusing on scalability and resilience, and proactive leadership, you're not just preparing for 2025, you're laying the groundwork for sustainable growth that will carry you far beyond. Now that we've covered the foundation, let's address some of the unique hurdles small businesses face when setting and achieving long-term goals and how we can overcome them. Let's be real. Setting goals as a small business owner can feel like a juggling act. You're wearing so many hats, and every day brings a new set of challenges. Add in the fear of making the wrong decision, and it's no wonder long-term goal setting often gets put on the back burner. I can't tell you the number of times when working with new clients where they say, I don't have time to think about next year, the year after that, 5 years down the road. I have to deal with the fires today. But here's the thing. The same hurdles that make goal setting feel hard are the ones that make it so important. When you have a clear roadmap, you free up headspace, align your team, and make smarter decisions. So let's tackle some of the most common obstacles small businesses face and look at practical solutions to overcome them. Time constraints. So the challenge, most small business owners are stretched thin, managing day-to-day operations while trying to grow the business. Long-term planning often feels like a luxury. The solution here is to set micro goals, break big objectives into smaller actionable items that fit into your busy schedule. So think about that phrase, eat the elephant one bite at a time, right? We know the elephant is out there. We're looking at it, we've named it, and now we need to break it into small chunks. Block out planning time. This is great. Treat strategic planning like it's a meeting with your top client, because it is. Even setting aside 2 to 3 hours per month can make a huge difference. Fear of change is a huge issue that we deal with our clients. The challenge is that change is uncomfortable. It can feel risky to move away from what's familiar. We've always done it this way. This is what's got us here. We have to continue doing this way because I don't know what's going to happen if we don't. Even when you know that change is familiar, is necessary for growth, it's really hard to make that change. So start small. Begin with incremental changes that build confidence and momentum. For example, if you're transitioning to a new software technology, whatever, test it in one area before rolling it out company-wide. And then focus on the why. Remind yourself and your team of the bigger picture. What's at stake if you don't embrace this change? And the last one that I see a lot is the reluctance to delegate as a business owner. Many small business owners struggle with letting go, fearing that tasks won't be done right without their direct involvement. We are all guilty of this as business owners and business leaders. And some people move past it faster than others, but we're all guilty of it. But here's the thing, you can't manage everything. You just can't, and grow. So what are some solutions? Leverage your team's strengths. You hired them for a reason, you keep them for a reason. Assign tasks based on your team's unique skills and provide clear instructions to them. Delegation isn't about abdication. It's about empowering others to step up and do those tasks and take ownership. And then hire for gaps. If your current team doesn't have the bandwidth or expertise, consider outsourcing or consultant can provide an outside perspective and help you identify blind spots. Use accountability frameworks. Tools like accountability groups or project management software keep you and your team on track. I have to tell you, here at Strategy Leaders, we've used Monday.com. We now use Notion. We use, we communicate regularly on Teams to make sure that we are staying accountable to each other and staying on task. And then track with KPIs, key performance indicators, ensure your goals are measurable and progress is visible. This keeps everyone aligned and focused on results. We actually have a great blog on our website. I'll make sure it gets out to you guys about KPIs to track and a little bit of how to do that. And obviously, we're happy to talk to you and help you set those up too. But I think it's really valuable. So setting goals is one thing, but turning them into accountable, actionable plans, that's where the magic happens. Without a clear plan, even the best become. Today, we're going to focus on the how to take those big dreams for your business and break them down into actionable steps that lead to real results. I know what you're thinking. I've heard about SMART goals before, and you're right. It's not groundbreaking concept, but hear me out. The reason it's so well known is because it actually works. If you're serious about turning your vision into reality, SMART goals are one of the most effective ways to bridge the gap between dreaming and doing. So let's break down what SMART stands for. SMART, specific. What exactly are you trying to achieve? Be as clear as possible. Measurable. How will you track the progress? Numbers, percentages, or deadlines are key. Achievable. Is this realistic based on your resources and time frame? And relevant. Does this goal align with your broader business objectives? And then time bound. When? When will you achieve it? You'll hear us frequently tell our clients, great, put a date on it. For example, instead of saying, I want to grow my business, a SMART goal would be increase revenue by 20% by Q4 2025 through expanding into 2 new markets. See how much clearer and actionable that is? SMART goals are simple, but they force you to get specific, align with your priorities, and hold yourself accountable. Creating roadmaps for 1 year, 3-year, and 5-year plans. So once you have your SMART goals, the next step is to map out your path. I recommend creating 3 types of plans. And I know this seems like a lot, but that's why we're here. 1-year plan. So focus on immediate priorities and milestones. This is your what can we accomplish now plan. The 3-year plan. Lay out medium-term goals that align with your long-term vision, but require foundational work to achieve. And then your 5-year plan. This is your big picture vision. Sometimes I call this the bucket list plan. Where do you want your to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years as a business owner? And what steps can you start taking to so you've set your goals, you've built your roadmap. Now, how do you stay on track? And this is where tools come in. Financial dashboards. This is something we do with all of our clients. These provide a real-time view of your revenue, expenses, and profitability. It's easier to course correct when you can see the numbers clearly. We do this every month with our clients. Project management tools, platforms like Asana or Trello or Monday or Notion can help you break big goals into manageable tasks, assign ownership, and track progress. And KPI dashboards. Use these to monitor your key performance indicators, whether it's customer acquisition, sales growth, or employee satisfaction. Tracking KPIs keeps your focus on what matters. So big goals require intentional planning by setting smart goals, creating clear roadmaps, and using your tools to measure progress. You can transform your vision for 2025 into a reality. Jot down one big goal for your business in 2025. Then ask yourself, is it smart? If not, what tweaks can you make to refine it? If you want to talk smart goals, hey, I came up with a goal, shoot me robyn@strategyleaders.com. I'd love to talk to you about it. But now that we've laid out the plan, let's dive into the most critical part of goal achievement, which is execution. How do you stay accountable, get your team involved, and ensure your plans don't just live on paper? Let's talk about it. You've got your goals and your roadmap. Now comes the most important and sometimes the hardest part, the execution. A plan is only as good as your ability to implement it. And this is where many small businesses stumble, and not because the goals are wrong, but because the follow through wasn't there. Let's break this down into actionable steps to ensure your goals move from paper to practice. As a business owner, accountability starts with you. It starts with us. It's easy to get distracted by daily operations or urgent issues, but staying consistent with your goals requires discipline. A lot of business owners like to chase the dopamine. So solving immediate problems and putting out fires is really exciting. It feels rewarding to our brains. But ultimately, it's to the downfall of everyone around us and our business if we can't not do that. So here's how we do that. Create a schedule. Block out regular time in your calendar to focus on strategic priorities. Treat these as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Set milestones. Break your goals into smaller benchmarks. For example, if your goal is to launch a new product by Q3, what do you need to accomplish in Q1 and Q2 to stay on track? And review progress regularly. Monthly or quarterly check-ins are essential. Use this time to assess what's working, what's not, and make adjustments as needed. I prefer monthly check-ins. I feel that quarterly is too far, especially when we're taking the big hairy goal and breaking it down into chunks. I want to see the progress on those chunks as we hit them. You don't have to do this alone. In fact, you shouldn't. Engaging your team in planning and execution not only lightens your load, but it fosters buy-in and shared responsibility in your company. Involve your team in collaborative planning and setting milestones and creating the action steps. When people are part of the planning process, they're more likely to stay committed to those outcomes. And then be clear about ownership. Assign specific responsibilities to team members and make expectations clear. Who is responsible for what and by when? Put a date on it. And then celebrate wins. Recognize and reward progress along the way. That helps to keep motivation high and to keep people moving down that path. And to keep yourself moving down that path. We love a win. I don't know if you've ever had a task list and written something you've already done and crossed it out. That's a win. We love wins. Our brains love to win. So sometimes the best way to stay accountable is to bring in external support. As a business owner, it can be really hard to stay objective and see your blind spots. Here is an example of how strategy leaders support small business owners. So one of our clients, a manufacturing business, was struggling with cash flow and felt stuck in survival mode. They had a goal to increase profitability, but no clear path to get there. Our team started by working with them to create a custom roadmap, that 1 year, 3-year, 5-year planning, tailored to address their operations and financial needs. We helped them implement a financial dashboard to track cash flow and profitability metrics. We set clear, achievable milestones for cutting expenses and boosting revenue, and then developed an accountability framework with monthly check-ins to ensure progress stayed on track. Within 2 years, they grew profitability by 40%, doubled their cash reserves, and had the confidence to invest in new equipment that further expanded their capacity. This transformation wasn't about luck. It was about having a plan and the right support system to execute it. And we love success stories like this. Let's talk about going it alone. Let's address this elephant in the room, trying to do it all yourself. It's tempting. Easy to drift away from your goals. Burnout. That's real. Taking everything on yourself isn't sustainable and it's not necessary. Collaboration, whether with your team, a coach, peer groups, brings fresh ideas, accountability, and that much needed outside perspective. Let's talk about timing. Why is now the moment to focus on your 2025 goals? The answer is simple: momentum. The end of the year is the perfect time to reflect, regroup, and recharge your strategy before the new year begins. Waiting until January puts you at a disadvantage. You're already behind while others are hitting the ground running. Planning now not only sets the tone for 2025, but ensures you're positioned to take advantage of opportunities right out of the gate. To effectively prepare, it's important to understand that there are trends that will impact small businesses in the year ahead, and here are a few key factors. Let's talk about economic uncertainty. Most businesses are still navigating inflation and rising costs. Building financial resilience, such as maintaining cash reserves and optimizing budgets, will be essential. With the rapid evolution of AI, automation, and digital tools isn't slowing down. Small businesses that embrace these technologies will improve efficiency, customer experience, and competitiveness. And then shifting workforce dynamics. Employee expectations are changing from flexible work arrangements to opportunities for growth. Retaining top talent will require intentional strategies to foster engagement and satisfaction. And then consumers are increasingly choosing brands that align with their values. I'm sure you've heard of sustainability and social responsibility. Prioritizing sustainability and social impact can open new markets and deepen customer loyalty. These trends aren't distant. They're already shaping how businesses succeed or struggle. The small businesses that take the time to plan now will have the clarity and agility to adapt. Those that delay risk being reactive and playing catch up in a rapidly changing landscape. So here's my call to action for you. Take the next step. You don't have to do this alone, and you don't need to tackle everything at once. Start by carving out time to reflect on your 2024 performance and lessons learned. Set SMART goals for 2025 and map out your roadmap. Consider where you might need support, whether it's in financial planning, technology upgrades, or team alignment. And don't leave this as an idea to get later. Schedule time this week to take the first step, whether it's booking a strategy session with me, meeting with your team, or even just jotting down your priorities. The businesses that thrive in 2025 will be the ones that act with intention now. By planning ahead, you're not just reacting to trends, you're positioning your business to lead in a competitive market. As we wrap up, I'll recap today's key takeaways and share some resources to help you get started on your strategic planning journey. So thank you all for being such an engaged audience today. Now, I want to hear from you. This is your chance to ask questions, share challenges you're facing, or get advice on long-term planning strategies specific to your business. I want to make this as valuable as possible, so don't hold back. Whether it's about goal setting, execution, or navigating 2025, I'm here to help. If you're unsure where to start, navigating a similar situation, and your question could spark insights for everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Robin. So I have first question to ask you. They're asking, I feel like I need to control everything in my business, but I know it's slowing us down. How can I let go without things falling apart?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one that, business owners deal with a lot. So first of all, you're not alone. a lot of small business owners deal with this. Your business is your baby, and it's hard to trust anyone else with something you've worked so hard to build. But here's the reality, holding on too tightly can actually stunt your business's growth. Start small would be my advice. Delegate one task or responsibility to someone on your team and set your clear expectations around what success looks like for that task. And communicate regularly, but please resist the urge to micromanage. Give them space to take ownership. It's also helpful to focus on what only you do or what only you can do as the leader of your business. When you narrow your focus to the high impact decisions that require your expertise, it becomes easier to let go of the rest. So what I tell my clients is you are the highest paid person in this company, or theoretically you should be, and which might make you the highest paid dispatcher or the highest paid handyman, right? It just doesn't make sense for your business. Remember that mistakes are going to be part of the process though when you start to delegate. It's okay if things aren't done 100% your way because it's about progress and not perfection. The more you empower your team, the more capacity you'll have to focus on the big picture goals that really matter. But I will tell you that letting go takes practice. It feels really counterintuitive sometimes, but it is one of the most powerful steps that you can take as a business owner to move forward.
Great, thank you. And here's another really good question. How can I measure whether my goals are successful?
Yeah, that is a good question. So the numbers don't lie. That's what I'm going to tell you. As long as the data is correct, coming into your systems, I would choose 2 to 3 KPIs, key performance indicators, for each goal. So for example, if your goal is to grow revenue, I would say track your monthly sales and customer acquisition costs. How much does it cost for you to get a customer? And then use a simple dashboard or even a spreadsheet is fine to monitor your progress. And when you see those wins stack up, it's the best motivation to keep going.
Amazing. This is a really good question. I feel like a lot of people struggle with this. I struggle with accountability. What are some practical ways to stay on track?
Mm. Accountability is hard, but it is also where the magic happens. And I will tell you that business owners have the potential to be the most accountable, but tend to be the least accountable, because it's your business and you can do what you want. However, if you're going to hold other people accountable, you need to be accountable too, to your business and to your goals and to yourself. So start by scheduling regular check-ins with yourself. No, I'm serious. I know that sounds silly, but block it on your calendar like you would for meeting with a client. And then use tools like Trello, Asana, Monday.com, a notepad, to keep everything organized. Hire an executive assistant, and don't underestimate power of outside accountability. So whether that's a coach like me or your business partners, or even a trusted peer, having someone to keep you honest is a game changer. I will tell you that I struggle with accountability sometimes. And actually, what I ended up doing outside of my Notion boards and my handwritten notes and things is I hired an outsourced executive assistant. She's been critical to me achieving what I need to achieve and getting my stuff done.
Great. This person is asking, my business is very small. Do I really need a 5-year plan?
Well, yes. The short answer is yes. Every business needs a North Star, let's say. So your 5-year plan doesn't have to be a novel. It doesn't have to be 17 pages long. It's just about deciding where you want to go and outlining the big steps to get there. So think of it as like giving yourself a roadmap. When you're clear on the destination, or at least, you know, the destinations, because you might have multiple goals, it's so much easier to make decisions today that will align with where you want to be tomorrow, next month, next year, 5 years from now. And as a business owner, unless you started your business to work until you die, ultimately your goal is to not be in that business, right? And whether that's selling and doing something else, or making a lot of money while you can and having a good life, Everyone has a goal for the end of their working time. And so think about it that way. Maybe it's hard to conceptualize in 5 years, my business will hit this revenue, but in 5 years, I personally might not want to work in my business, right? What does that mean?
Excellent answer. And I think this will be a good one to wrap things up with. They're asking, what role does strategy leaders play in helping small businesses like mine?
That is an excellent question to end on. So think of us as like your strategic partner in crime. We're in your corner, right? Whether it's creating a growth roadmap, helping you optimize your finances, or staying accountable to your goals, we're here to make sure that you're not doing this alone. One client, for example, actually grew profitability by 40% after we helped them implement their financial dashboard and set monthly milestones. We don't just give advice and leave. We help you execute so the results actually happen. And as we go back to one of the biggest downfalls of achieving goals for small businesses is owner accountability. We're here, we're your coach, we're here in your corner to make sure that you're hitting those milestones. And to be upfront and honest with you when we feel like maybe you're not hitting them, to address why we are stumbling, right? So we love small businesses. We love to help everyone, and make sure that we continue growing as a small business community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin. Thanks for a great presentation. And thank you to everyone who joined today. We really appreciate your time.
Yep. So I just wanted, before we really finish up, is to let you guys know that we have a strategic planning toolkit mini course coming to you. I'm really excited to introduce this, and it's a self-guided program that you'll get when we send out kind of the follow-ups for this webinar. And what you'll get out of this course is a dive into activities designed to help you reflect on 2024, identify opportunities, and set your achievable goals. Tools to create a strategic plan that is tailored to your business, and then learning how to address common small business challenges and build a roadmap for success. Um, and if you're ready to take it further, we'll show you how strategy leaders can help turn your vision into reality. So thank you again so much for spending your morning with me. If you're ready to deepen your planning efforts, there's 2 ways to keep this momentum going. Schedule a free call with us, book a consultation. Let's talk about your business, your goals, and how we can support you in 2025. This is a no commitment opportunity to explore what's possible. Attend our webinars. We have another webinar coming up. I believe it's next week. So we'll make sure you get the link for that. And then remember, the businesses that succeed are the ones that plan with intention and execute with consistency. You've already taken the first step by being here today, and now it's your time to turn that energy into action. So thank you again, and keep an eye on your inbox, and we'll send you the webinar recording, slides, and your access to this mini course soon. And if you have any questions or need support, don't hesitate to reach out. My email address is down here in the corner. I don't know where this shows up, but down in the corner, it's robin@strategyleaders.com. That's my cell phone. Don't hesitate to send me a text. And thanks again, and here's to your success.
Thank you. Have a good one.